Dude, why are these videos, like, kind of doing well? Like, one of them got, like, 400 views, one of them got, like, 300 views. You guys realize that this isn't my main channel? Like, I've been getting a lot of comments from people that are like, oh wow, I love these type of videos, subscribed immediately. I think I'm just attracting viewers from this channel alone, which is kind of crazy because, like, this is my second channel, which has just kind of become my diary. Like, I have a main channel where I put out, like, actual Minecraft videos that I spend time editing. I actually just put out one yesterday, which I've been working on for so long. Like, I started organizing that video last year. Like, genuinely, that was last year that I started working on it. So, and that's really great to get that out of the way. That's in fiction. Yeah, I'm glad to get that. But yeah, so not a lot happened this week in terms of a real life. So I thought I'd talk about Dungeons and Dragons, which did happen, and some of my experiences in the past playing Dungeons and Dragons. So I've been playing Dungeons and Dragons for, how long's it been? I think it was year 10 that I started, so it's been like 3 years? No, 4. Yes, 3. 3 years. 3 years I've been playing this Dungeons and Dragons with a group of friends. Maybe it was year 11. Anyway, I don't care really. It was some years amount of time. I've been playing with 4 of my really good friends, and yeah, we've just started our 4th campaign. And this time around, we've shuffled up the roles a bit, and there's a new person DMing, and the old guy DMing is now playing in the actual thing, and he's got a character, and he's playing with us, which is quite cool, because he's a lunatic, that guy, and he's just absolutely insane, and he's really funny, and like, already his character is called Lando Calrissian, just named after the bloody Star Wars character, and he's got like nothing to do with Lando Calrissian. He just thought, yeah, I want to name my character Lando Calrissian. Yeah, this is cool. This is good. There's just lava everywhere. That's awesome. Basically, my character is called Gregory Humptitch. That's what my character's called. Gregory Humptitch, and Gregory Humptitch is a 12-year-old rock gnome. Now, I wrote that my character was 12 when I thought that, like, rock gnomes would have, like, a different perception of age. Okay. I thought, like, oh yeah, 12 years old for a gnome, that would be like maybe like 20 or 30 for a human. No, 12-year-old for a gnome is just 12-year-old for a human. I was just kind of, yeah. So now, and instead of changing it to be more realistic, I thought, no, I'll just leave it like that. That's just kind of funny that my character is 12 years old. So yeah, we're on to the lore that, like, I was born 12 years ago in the forest, and I was raised by this guy who isn't my father. Never met my father, don't know who my father is, and he was, or my mother, don't know my parents, but with this guy, like, father, he, like, raised me, and then died when I was 6, and so I've spent 6 years of my 12 years of life living by myself, and yeah, with a lot of, and I didn't really explain how I'm able to read, write, and play the accordion. I can play the accordion, but I just kind of can, you know, you kind of like, I just think it's funny. You kind of have to throw out realism a bit out the window when you're playing Dungeons and Dragons, you know, so it doesn't really matter. You know, like, this campaign we've just started, the entire concept of it is that God is dead. Like, there is a God in this world that was like the God of all life and growth and stuff, and that God just died, and now for the past like 20 years or something, the entire world's been thrust into this like apocalyptic wasteland with, it's kind of like Tatooine. I think so. Yeah, somebody mentioned it's like, oh, it's a bit like Tatooine, and then this friend was like, I know, the Lando Calrissian. So that's how that started. But yeah, I think it's a cool concept. You know, God is dead, and I've spent my entire life living in this post-apocalyptic world. There's like some people, there's like, one of my friend's characters like 153 years old, which is normal for an elf, and like, he's known the world long before it was like this. So I thought I'd talk about some of the fun experiences we've had in previous campaigns, though. So we've done, this is our fourth, I think. This is because we did that one. We did the first one where I was playing a vampire barbarian hobbit. That was a very strange campaign. That one was, I don't know what was going on with that one. That was the first one we ever did. Actually, they were all weird. This one wasn't abnormally weird. But basically, I was a vampire hobbit. There was like this evil sword that corrupted the mind of one of our party members, and then he went off on this journey to go destroy. Actually, no, he didn't even want to destroy the sword. He wanted to, like, what even was it? It was just like use the sword to open a portal to hell, and then release like a bunch of demons from the world, which did not go to plan. Like, I don't know, I've never played D&D before that. I didn't know that, releasing a bunch of demons into the world would be like a bad idea. But yeah, that went horribly wrong. And then the second half of the campaign we spent just fixing the problem. We actually ventured into hell. We went through the 9 layers of hell, and we crossed the River Styx. We went on a boat down the River Styx. It was actually kind of a cool. Just trying to fix the problem, close the gate again. And then that was when I turned into a vampire, just because I thought it'd be cool, I want to be a vampire. That'd be fun. And I didn't really consider the fact that, like, I'd have to drink half a liter of blood every single day. So yeah, that was. So I had to just keep, like, every time we had a battle, I'd always be like, oh yeah, I need to harvest the blood from this person as well. So the funny thing about D&D is usually, like, well, not usually, but sometimes you can have your characters go on, like, some sort of emotional arc where they, like, develop better as a person and they become a better person by the end of the campaign. And, some of my friends did that. Like, because there's, obviously the D&D alignment charts, there's stuff like, neutral good, true neutral, lawful evil, they went from, like, neutral to good. But my arc and my sort of, like, change in character, I went from good to evil. Like, I became a worse person as the campaign went on, because I think I killed a baby at one point just because I was hungry. So yeah, like, I was a terrible person in that campaign. We don't really take D&D too seriously. I think sometimes people can get be like a stickler for the rules and, like, get all fussed up about making sure you do everything perfectly right. But we sort of, we make up a lot of it, I think. Well, not really, but we will make up, I think, more than most people do. I'm not sure if that's true. I've never played it the way that I'm explaining. Like, I've never actually played it super seriously, and my only other experience of D&D is, like, this other group of people that I know that play D&D, and they just seem like they take it a lot more seriously, and it just looks less fun is the thing. Like, if you just make stuff up and you can just do whatever, obviously in D&D you can do whatever, but it's different, like, the fact that the DM can do whatever is kind of the thing. Like, one time we were venturing through the Caves of Hunger underneath this, like, mountain in Icewind Dale, and this is, like, the funniest moment I've ever had playing D&D, because it was I remembered it just because of how just funny and great it was. There was a lake at the bottom of a cliff. We couldn't see the lake because we were in the middle of a dark cave. So what happened, was we were like, okay, so we need to get down this cliff, and we could just jump into the lake. Like, that could be a way of doing it. But we could also die. So what we'll do is we'll send our NPCs that we were traveling with. We'll say, you guys jump first, so we'll see what happens. And then they jump first, and then I think there were several of them. And then the DM, he's like, okay, so they all scream, and they seem like they're in pain. But judging by the various levels of screaming, you see that the people who jumped back first, they seem to scream the least, so that's probably the best way of doing it. And then everybody's like, alright, sure, we'll jump back first. And then a lot of them do that, but then I'm like, I'm gonna do a flip. And then the DM's like, cool, you do a flip, and roll a d20. And I was like, no, I'm joking, I don't actually want to do a flip. And then everybody around the table starts like peer pressuring me, they're all like, do a flip, do a flip, do a flip. So I'm like, okay, fine, I guess I'll have to do a flip then. And then I roll a d20, and I roll a critical fail. I roll a 1. I roll the lowest you can get on a 20-sided dice. And he's like, oh great, you break your neck. And then I'm like, well, I didn't scream at all. And then for the rest of the thing, I was on like death saving throws. And then the other people who didn't jump down the cliff, they just find a staircase that went down. It was all pointless. It's just, it was so funny. And I actually nearly died from it as well. Like, I was nearly out of the campaign. But anyway, yeah. We found Vecna once. That was an interesting campaign. We found like the Eye of Vecna, and then like one of our friends was going on a trip to Japan, and we knew that we weren't going to be able to like play D&D while he was away. So on the last campaign we did before he went to Japan, the DM turned him into a book, and he got trapped inside a book, and he couldn't play. So he's like, oh great, now you don't need to play while you're in Japan. And then we never played it while he was in Japan. For the few months he was away, we never played it, so it was just entirely pointless. And then we had to go through another big loop just to get him out of the book. And then once we got him out of the book, he had been corrupted by the book, and then he was like evil. And then we had to kill him because, obviously. So then, yeah, and then and then he came back as that druid thingy. Oh, that was so funny. He came back as a druid, and he was born into a family of people who like really hated druids, and he's like, you ain't my son if you're a druid. So then he had to run away from home, and he joined our campaign. Yeah. So thank you for listening. So I'm excited to start this new campaign as a 12-year-old playing accordion, and yeah, I think it's going to be cool. How much longer have I got? Oh, that's literally the end. Okay, great. See ya.